And welcome back to Ken White Field here in Waleska, Georgia. Game 2 between the 23rd ranked Reinhardt Eagles and the 6th ranked Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs. On the mound for Reinhardt to get things started, Andrew Herbert. Herbert coming off of a season where he went 8-0 for the Eagles last year, a 2.82 ERA. Herbert will be making his second start of the season. So Turner will start at the plate for Tennessee Wesleyan.
Forgot the most important thing.
What is it? Pitch call? Pitch call.
Tells you what pitch to throw.
Turner in the first game of this series just moments ago going 2 for 5. A few huge hits for Tennessee Wesleyan as they tried desperately to swing the momentum back in their favor throughout the ball game, but they were unable to do so. The Eagles picking up a huge first win in this series. And Turner chops this one near the Reinhardt dugout and foul. And you can feel the energy that the Reinhardt dugout has on display. And they want to make a bit of a statement here, going up against a top 10 foe within their conference. A group that has routinely finished atop the AAC standings at the end of the season. Good showing here can potentially put Reinhardt in position to find themselves in the pole position going into the conference tournament. Count currently stands at 1-2. Well hit ball by Turner. Deep in the center field, and it will be recovered. So that's the first out of this ball game.
Now batting, number 37, the third baseman Blake Hubble.
Hubble at the plate for Tennessee Wesleyan. Hubble went 2 for 5 in the first matchup between these two squads. This one a grounder. Collected by Mendoza. Mendoza throws it to Kroll to get the out at first. 2 up, 2 down thus far in the first inning. So for Tennessee Wesleyan, will they be able to bounce back? Very nearly being able to rally and come from behind to get the victory, but falling just short. And then for Reinhardt, can they keep their momentum swing going? Eagles now 10-7 this year. That win, their 5th consecutive victory. And this one is popped up. And a fly out. 3 up, 3 down. A nice inning there from Andrew Herbert. And as we ready to change sides, still all square. It's now set to resume play here in the bottom of the first inning. Reinhardt able to keep Tennessee Wesleyan at bay in the top of the first. On the mound for the Bulldogs, number 10, Daniel Davila. The righty is making his 5th appearance of the season, his 4th start, and immediately Profit testing him there. Davila showing off the wheels, getting to the bag and getting the tag at first.
The right fielder, Dylan Lewis.
Davila currently sporting a 4.3 ERA and a 3-0. Tremendous play by the third baseman Hubble to get Lewis out. And now Tucker Zadunik is at the plate. Zadunik went 1 for 3 in the first game of this series. Now, as great as Zadunik was last season, struggled a little bit in the series against Tennessee Wesleyan overall. A very similar game in the first game of that series as he has to this one, going 1 for 4 in the first game of that one. He would finish 1 for 10 over the course of the series. So he's hoping for a little bit more sustained success this season against the Bulldogs. Counts 2-1. Count knotted up at 2 apiece. Another strike from Davila, and he will have a chance to end the inning and leave it unscathed. 2-2 pitch. Outside for ball number 3. And the head coach of Tennessee Wesleyan, Billy Berry, showing his displeasure with that call. This one is popped up by Zadunik, but on the wrong side of the net and foul. This one hit in the right field, and it goes on the right side of the line. Zadunik makes his way to first, and that is where he will remain.
Now batting, number 4, the left fielder, Adrian Lardez.
So with 2 strikes on the count, Tucker Zadunik getting the base hit. That's his 2nd hit of this series. Already more hits this year against Tennessee Wesleyan than he had last season. Adrian Vargas coming up to the plate. And this one, a very well hit ball in the left field. Unfortunately, looks like it has warning track power. And that concludes the inning. After 1, still all square. Set to resume play here in the top of the second. Still 0-0.
Game finalized.
They don't know.
They didn't have their game finalized. Like no, like they still have it showing that it's in play.
That pitch a strike from Herbert. Stevens, the outfielder at the plate. Stevens was 2 for 4 in the first game of this series.
Neither the second right there. So it's right down the middle anyway.
And that pitch a little bit low for ball number 2.
Bill Martin's just really good at receiving. Look at that. How was that 76 to 81 the same pitch? He just brings it back inside.
Swing and a miss there for strike number 3. So Andrew Herbert, so far another strong start.
He needs to get more in the lane.
Now batting, number 1, the first baseman, Cale Webster.
Cale Webster, the first baseman, up to the plate. Webster went 1 for 5 in the first game of this series.
Gosh, that's such a good pitch. Look what that is.
Count now stands at 0-2.
That's 4 balls off. Crazy. How does he make that look so hard?
This one a grounder. Prophet corrals it and gets the out at first. Herbert is locked in on the mound. The Eagles in the field locked in as well.
Number 21, the catcher's name is Stewart.
I mean, you can go with this right here. Yeah, you can change up right there. That's unfair.
And this is our first chance of this series to see number 21, Daniel Stewart, in action. A 6'5" junior from Hazel Green, Alabama. Stewart has appeared in 11 games so far, hitting .205 with 3 RBIs and a home run. Swing and miss there from Stewart. This one popped up and foul. Count still stands at 2-2. And another one fouled off. Stewart doing a nice job of staying alive. That pitch wild off the plate. And a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Well hit ball by Stewart, deep in the left field, over the wall and gone. Daniel Stewart, a 2-out bomb to get Tennessee Wesleyan on the board. Herbert had been pitching so well. Such a great start to the outing for him. But Stewart, full count, 2 outs on the board, comes up big with a solo shot in his first at-bat of the series.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. I'm interested to see. So spring sports must stay in the practice, but
That's true. We still have like tennis.
yeah, Dalton was just telling me like, I guess they have a game Monday. Oh, they
Yeah.
have Monday.
This is another first for us. Number 19, Cruz Newman. Newman, the junior from Richmond, Kentucky, getting his first action in this series. Swing and miss there by Newman, and strike 2. Cruz Newman, formerly of Walter State Community College. That pitch from Herbert is low for ball 2. Newman's appeared in 12 games so far this year. He's hit for 190, 3 RBIs. And now he too will face a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The last time Tennessee Wesleyan was faced with this, a home run was hit just moments ago. This time the pitch is off the plate for ball number 4. Newman will make his way to first.
Now batting number 34, the designated hitter, Corbin Scott.
Corbin Shaw getting his first time for Tennessee Wesleyan in this series. And Shaw pops this one up deep in the right field. And it will go just on the wrong side of the pole. Shaw, another Walter State Community College product. And this is a bit of a homecoming for him. A guy that's from Conyers, Georgia. Not too far from Waleska. So playing in his home state. That pitch is low and into the dirt for ball number 1. Corbin Shaw's appeared in 15 games so far this year. He's hit for 275 with 7 RBIs and 2 homers. A strike there thrown by Herbert. Herbert was nearly flawless until that solo shot. Can he get the 3rd strike and close the door? Shaw rips this one foul.
I didn't know they announced for you.
They just make a post and then I choose a call. Oh, I didn't respond.
Yeah, he's saying if they, well, what else?
Don't you know?
I know, I have a lot. That's what I was thinking about finding.
That pitch is high for ball number 2.
You could say, I won't be able to do it tonight. If you want to go tomorrow, just ask if it's allowed.
Yeah. Okay.
That pitch low from Herbert and another full count here. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And he's seen himself in these situations. This is now the 3rd consecutive batter he's faced that has faced a full count. First one was able to hit a solo homer. The next one was walked. What will be of this at bat? The 3-2.
Yep.
Strike 3. Shaw was all but certain that he was going to make his way to first. Instead, he's retired. Herbert picks up the third out. As we get set to change sides, Tennessee Wesleyan 1, Reinhardt 0. As we get set to resume play here, the Eagles behind 1-0 against Tennessee Wesleyan. Nash Kroll at the plate. Nash Kroll had a big 3-run shot for Reinhardt. Put them up 8-4 in their game, and Kroll gets all of that one off the left field wall. Kroll rounding first and headed to second. Nash Kroll with a leadoff double here in the second inning. So Nash Kroll a little bit slow out of the gate so far this season, but 2 huge hits in their biggest series of the season thus far. Big time double there from Nash Kroll, and Jared Burney comes up to the plate.
But they were really nice. They really appreciated you were great as a guy. And they were like, just so you know, if you ever wanted to come back,
Burney was 1 for 4 in the first game of this series. Davila with the pitch and another strike. Just taking a stroll back down memory lane, going back to the last time Tennessee Wesleyan was in Waleska for a series against the Eagles. Reinhardt won the first game 8-6, the second game 2-1, before Tennessee Wesleyan answered with an 8-7 victory. A huge series win for the Eagles against the Bulldogs.
There you go.
Eagles hoping that history will repeat itself. So a ground out from Burney, but Kroll is now threatening from third.
The shortstop, Luis Mendoza.
So after that ground out, Luis Mendoza now comes to the plate. Mendoza went 2 for 3 in the first game of this series.
Yeah, so right now, the lady that put it off, she runs the house right now, and she's not on her list to like.
And Mendoza gets out of the way of that one. That one nearly striking him. It will harmlessly be called a ball. Thankfully, Mendoza was able to get out of the way.
So then, depending on which after we get to ours, like maybe we could stay in June or July. Then if
Just being able to get something in play can go a long way.
and Allison and I would just move it to the. I think we'll go home
Eagles down by just 1 run.
here and finish the next. They should only go home.
A grounder, and it goes exactly where it can't. But it leaks out of the glove of the first baseman. Mendoza is safe at first.
Batting, number 15, the center fielder, Lance Zachary.
So a big-time error there puts runners in the corners. Cale Webster not able to secure it. This will be our first chance to see Lance Dockery in this ball game. Dockery went 0 for 3 in the first game against Tennessee Wesleyan. But in general, Lance Dockery, the improvement that he showed from 2022 to 2023 meant a lot. And right here, after that wild pitch, Nash Kroll easily makes his way home, and we're all tied up again at 1 apiece. So Dockery was thinking bunt there, but the pitch from Davila was wild. Nash Kroll easily made his way home, and now Luis Mendoza's in scoring position at second. But Lance Dockery, his year-over-year improvement that he made from 2022 to 2023 at the plate did wonders for the potential of this team. Gives Coach Burton's squad another main option, another guy that they can trust in big moments, and we've already seen that come to fruition this year. Big moment for him in their game against Tennessee Southern during the Southeast Rumble. Lance Dockery hitting a walk-off home run. So we know that he's very capable of coming up big in big situations. Right now, down on the count 1-2. And this one well hit by Dockery, and it goes into shallow center field. Mendoza rounding third and headed home. Luis Mendoza is safe at home, and the Eagles go up 2-1. A nice response from Reinhardt here in the second inning. Lance Dockery coming up big once again, this time with an RBI single to put the Eagles ahead. So now the backstop for this game, Dylan Martin at the plate. This is Martin's first appearance against Tennessee Wesleyan. Dockery was thinking still there, but Dylan Martin took a hack at it. It goes foul. Martin so far this year, 19 plate appearances, currently batting .263. That pitch is low and into the dirt. Counts 1-1.
I was gonna tell you tomorrow. I was just thinking about it. We're listening to church and music. Oh yeah. 2:15, 2:30. Yeah, just be sitting. Tomorrow. I was gonna tell you that too.
This one popped up by Martin,
I was gonna tell you like, there ain't no sense unless you do
and it will be corralled by the center fielder Turner. So Martin flies out in center, and we make our way back to the top of Reinhardt's batting order. Jacob Profit at the plate. Profit 0 for 1 so far in this game.
Yeah, then I'll just take it Monday.
People go like 60. I'm afraid to go 40.
So Lance Dockery, another guy who's a very talented base runner, very aggressive. It'd be interesting to see if Davila's going to try to keep him at bay. Profit was thinking bunt there. Instead, it's a strike. And that's a call that the Reinhardt faithful does not agree with, and making their displeasure known. And there goes Dockery trying to steal second. And he is caught stealing. So that's out number 3, and that concludes the inning. Reinhardt able to pull back in front. Now ahead, 2-1. So now as we set to resume play here in the third inning, Reinhardt ahead 2-1. Herbert remains on the mound for the Eagles. And at the plate for the first time in this one, Leach, the second baseman. Leach had 2 homers in the first game of this series, but his first at bat in this game is a fly out to left field. So down goes Leach. We make our way back to the top of the order for the Bulldogs. Turner, the center fielder, back at the plate. Turner 0 for 1 in his only at bat in this game so far. A grounder, and Mendoza cannot secure it. Took a bit of an awkward hop into the midsection of Mendoza. He was not able to secure it and make the throw to Nash Kroll at first. So Turner safely at first base. So Huddle represents the go-ahead run for Tennessee Wesleyan. Hubble's 0 for 1 in this game. Tennessee Wesleyan down by just 1 run, trying to get themselves back in the lead. That pitch is a ball from Herbert. Andrew Herbert had a phenomenal start to his outing in that first inning. A little bit of trouble in the second. We'll see what happens here. As he's still rounding into form. This is just his second appearance of the season. This one a grounder. Profit secures it and gets the out at first. So 2 down, but 1 man is in scoring position for Tennessee Wesleyan.
Now batting, number 22, the shortstop, Marco Martinez.
Turner's at second as Martinez, the shortstop, comes up to the plate. Martinez 0 for 1 in his only other at bat. And a ground ball. Mendoza trying to make the throw, and it gets Kroll off the bag. He was not able to make it. Now runners in the corners for Tennessee Wesleyan. A man on first and a man on third. Stevens, the outfielder, at the plate. Bulldogs with 2 men on, but they also have 2 men down. Swing and miss there for Martinez for strike 1. Counts 1-1.
Yeah.
And a strike there from Herbert. Brings the count to 1-2. Herbert trying to hold Tennessee Wesleyan scoreless. He was in this situation in the previous inning with 2 strikes and the count on his side. A ball there. He was in this same situation on a few occasions during that previous inning. On one occasion, he let up a solo home run. On another, he walked the batter, allowed him to get into a full count, and threw another ball. So what will Herbert do here? Swing and miss for strike 3. Herbert secures the strikeout. And that's big time there from Andrew Herbert. Reinhardt still ahead, 2-1. So Jacob Prophet's back at the plate because the last time that he was at the plate came in the previous inning where Lance Dockery got caught trying to steal second base. So Prophet 0 for 1 so far in this ball game, a chance to change that here. Davila remains on the mound for Tennessee Wesleyan. A strike thrown there. Eagles pulled ahead by way of that wild pitch from Davila and then the RBI single from Dockery. That pitch is high for ball number 3. And Prophet draws the walk. Great plate discipline there from Jacob Prophet.
Number 8, the right fielder,
Dylan Lewis, the outfielder, coming up to the plate. Lewis 0 for 1 so far in this ball game. So now we'll see what Davila does dealing with Jacob Prophet. Guy who's very dangerous when he's on base, always a threat to steal. And he puts a lot of stress on pitchers. So much stress that sometimes they do not fully focus on the task at hand at the plate. And part of it is just having trust in your catcher that he's going to be able to react fast enough and throw him out if he makes an attempt to steal. And pitches high by Davila. Again, you have to wonder, is he thinking about Prophet at first? Dylan Lewis, a guy who came into today's contest batting right near 390, very dangerous at the plate. And there goes Prophet, but Lewis pops it up. Lewis pops it up, and Prophet is not able to return to first base either. So that's 2 outs in one fell swoop for Reinhardt. Missed opportunity there for the Eagles as Tucker Zadunik comes to the plate. Zadunik 1 for 1 so far in this ball game. At one point, Zadunik had a hit in 14 consecutive games. Now, 15 out of the last 16. When you include this matchup here, 16 out of his last 17 games, Tucker Zadunik has recorded a hit.
How do we get to last inning?
Oh, they say they were
So he's starting off this season much faster than he did a year ago, even in a year where he hit for over 340 for the Eagles. Of course, his All-American campaign, well over 370.
She ended up with 25.
And Zadunik, this one drops in the right center. Zadunik stays hot, rounds first, heads to second, and that is where he will remain. A 2-out extra base hit for Tucker Zadunik. He's 2 for 2 so far in this ball game. So Zadunik stays hot, and Adrian Vargas comes up to the plate. Again, 2 men down, so Reinhardt hoping for a bit of a rally here, trying to create some insurance runs, create some distance between them and the Bulldogs.
She was good.
No, that was good. Cat was very, very
Saw
good.
it in the night sky.
I just want to know.
That pitch inside for ball number 2.
Pictures from India.
Going into a master's program in Cody. Actually, I can believe that because I think it was I'm gonna trade you. I'm gonna trade you.
Counts now 2-1.
Based off of what we have right now, next year. Steve likes to split.
That pitch is low for ball 3.
Like when you go down the stat sheet, it's literally senior. Juniors right now. Underwood? Yeah, that's the seniors.
Oh, you got some.
A strike there and a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Herbert was able to keep Tennessee Wesleyan at bay in the top of this inning. Can Davila do the same here in the bottom of the 3rd? Vargas pops this one up deep in the left field, and it will be corralled. That concludes the inning. After 3, Reinhardt clinging to a 2-1 lead. Now set to resume play here in the fourth inning. Tennessee Wesleyan behind 2-1 against the Reinhardt Eagles. And a first pitch pop-up here. A few Eagles are around it. And it will be secured by Adrian Vargas.
Now batting.
So one pitch, one out as Cale Webster flies out to left. Stewart, the backstop, back at the plate. 1 for 1 so far in this ball game.
Well, they released him already, but it's,
Oh, today?
yeah, it's kind of like almost.
That pitch low and off the plate for ball number 1.
You know, it's been a year since that Georgia lineman and that girl.
Your mom still works?
No, she's not
Able to?
Counts 1-1.
You guys will get like a test or something?
Well, yeah, no, that makes sense because right before the draft, yeah, because Jalen Carter got affected by it. Yeah, my sister was there now. Jalen Carter.
Are you gonna go home at all?
Oh,
soon,
yeah,
or-
tomorrow. I think he had an office in. I'm pretty sure they were racing.
Uh-huh.
They're doing some of the state laws and stuff like that. They were racing on the left, behind the road and everything. Yeah.
Count now knotted up at 2 apiece.
Did you go do that tomorrow?
Again, Andrew Herbert, a very strong start to his outing in that first inning. Ran into a bit of trouble in the second. Was able to bounce back in the third. That pitch low for ball number 3.
Here?
And a guy who received some honorable mention on the NAIA All-American team 1 season ago.
Second inning of 30 pitches. He's at 47.
And this one well hit. Mendoza can't corral it. It leaks into left field. So that is 2 for 2 now for Stewart.
Now batting. Number 19. A right fielder, Cruz Newman.
Stewart making his presence felt here in this series. 2 consecutive hits on 2 consecutive at-bats. So now Newman, the outfielder, back at the plate. Pick attempt there, trying to keep Stewart at bay.
Or he not really know what we're talking about.
So now a man on for Tennessee Wesleyan.
How's your mom doing?
Things can get very interesting very quickly. The go-ahead run at the plate.
They've been together a long time, right?
Another ball there from Herbert. So Herbert making just his second appearance of the season. It is fair to wonder if fatigue would become a factor and at what point will it factor in.
When's their anniversary?
2 ocean.
Did he swing on her? Oh my
Done.
Pick attempt there. Very nearly successful. Nonetheless, still just 1 man down for Tennessee Wesleyan here in the top of the 4th.
Figured out. So is he just kind of like stable right now?
That pitch a strike by Herbert. So count knotted up at 2 apiece. Can Newman repeat the success of Stewart when facing a 2-2 count? This one popped up and fouled over the net.
I'm obviously not the same at all, but my grandma, when she came on this discussed during COVID,
Count remains 2-2.
her breast cancer came back. She really fucking cared for her for like 3 months. And it's saying like, if she was able to stay at home, she ended up being on hospice and passed away.
And this pick attempt will be successful. Catches him way off the bag there. Nice savvy play there by Andrew Herbert. So now 2 outs. And the count is still 2-2, but the next strike can prompt out number 3. That pitch low and off the plate, a bit wild by Herbert. And a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. A strike retires the side. A ball. And he will make his way to first base. Very important pitch here from Herbert. The 3-2. This one popped up into center field. And the Eagles will corral it. That retires the side as we get set to change sides. Reinhardt still ahead, 2-1. So now as things get back rolling here in the bottom of the 4th inning, Reinhardt still ahead, 2-1. Nash Kroll back at the plate. Kroll 1 for 1 so far in this game. Had that huge double a few innings ago. Kroll starting to heat up here in this series against Tennessee Wesleyan after a bit of a slow start to the year. Plenty of ball left. He has a lot of time to match the way that he played a season ago. This one a grounder, and the throw will be made at first.
Now batting number 10, the third baseman, Jared.
So Nash Kroll grounds out, and Jared Burney comes up to the plate. Burney 0 for 1 so far in this one.
That's like 80 miles an hour. It's hard. It's harder. My older brother was just white. My older brother played lacrosse and he come home bruises all over.
This one popped up by Burney, deep in the right field, and it goes off the wall. Burney heading to second, and that's where he will remain. Jared Burney off the first pitch hit that one right into the right field corner. Big time double for Jared Burney. Now Luis Mendoza, the shortstop, at the plate. Mendoza 1 for 2 so far in this ball game.
Imagine there's one of those straight to your feet. This is 100 points. But he come home with bruises all down his shins. I'm like, yeah, how do you choose to do that?
I just went to like first time.
The thing,
I went to like the lacrosse, but not.
So the pitching has been strong on both sides. Davila and Herbert doing a nice job navigating their way against two of the more talented lineups in the country. Jared Burney looking to steal third, and he will. Jared Burney successfully gets to third base. He's now threatening from third.
Oh my
We like showed up. We were just like,
It really is though, like breathtaking. Like all the turf, like the scoreboard.
did you go in the press box?
So the
No,
count
I didn't.
It's
1-1.
Press box is cool. It's like a huge open ring that's just facing every field.
And it seems like the infield is pinching in, trying to protect against the potential bunt.
You just got like these two.
Counts 1-2.
Which one?
And Mendoza hits this one into the net foul.
No, I didn't know that. That's what I was thinking.
Count remains 1-2. Mendoza just needs to get a decent amount of wood on this one.
It's actually.
Again, the entire infield pinched in, worried about the threat of small ball. Mendoza pops this one up. And it goes on the wrong side of the net and foul. Nice job of Mendoza to stay alive in the at-bat.
Yeah, I feel like it's just like the kids. Like it's just like the buildings. I don't know. If
Again, one man on base for the Eagles, Jarrett Burney at third. The count is 1-2.
I would like to go on that camp. It looks really nice in turf. It looks like new. It looks new.
Strike three. Big time strikeout there from Davila.
Now batting number 15, the center fielder, Lance Dockery.
Huge strikeout there from Davila, and the infield retreats back into their original places. Now the threat of the bunt is not as severe. So Lance Dockery coming up to the plate. He's 1 for 1 so far in this ball game. That pitch inside of Dockery for ball one. This game beginning a lot like the first one. Now, in that first matchup, we did see some fireworks as it went on. Dockery got a lot of that one, and it bounces off the center field wall. Dockery easily makes his way to third base. A triple by Lance Dockery. That one was very well hit deep in the center field, bounces off of the wall, and Dockery showing off the wheels. RBI triple for Lance Dockery, a run scoring for the Eagles, and he comes up big yet again for Reinhardt. And again, his improvement at the plate over the course of his career in an Eagle uniform cannot be overstated. Dockery in 2022 hit for 220. In 2023, 303, raised his amount of home runs hit from 5 to 13 as well. Also nearly doubling his RBI total. So Lance Dockery, becoming a more consistent player at the plate, has gone a long way towards adding another element to this Reinhardt team offensively. The backstop Dylan Martin at the plate. He hits this one deep in the left field, but it goes just on the wrong side of the foul pole.
But instead of a padded ball, it was a chain link fence. And one of our dudes, my junior high school.
Martin 0 for 1 so far in this ball game. Now behind on the count 1-2. A base hit would likely bring in another run for the Eagles.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, that sounds good.
Swing and miss there from Martin. Strike three. He tries to make it to first, but will not do so. And that concludes the inning. Reinhardt able to add another run to their total. They now lead 3-1. Set to resume play here in the 5th inning. Reinhardt ahead against Tennessee Wesleyan 3-1. Herbert remains on the mound for the Eagles. This one cracked by Shaw, and Jared Burney can't secure it. Very awkward hop that Burney was unable to secure. Shaw makes his way to first base. Coach Burton coming out, a mound visit with Andrew Herbert. Do have to wonder if Herbert's day is done. Just his 2nd appearance this year. And that will conclude his day. A strong outing once again from Andrew Herbert. Only surrendering 1 run against the 6th-ranked team in the country.
Number 3, the 2nd baseman, Dante Lee.
So Herbert's day concludes. And now on the mound for the Eagles, number 27, Hunter Paulson. The lefty making his 5th appearance of the season, his 3rd in relief. Hunter Paulson, another guy who has steadily shown improvement and progress over the course of his career at Reinhardt. 2022 sported an earned run average of .767, lowering that to .588 a year ago, and now, so far this season, a .360 ERA. So a nice, strong start to the year for Hunter Paulson, and it'll be interesting to see if he can keep that going here against the Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs. Count stands at 0-2. Leach, the 2nd baseman, at the plate. He's already made his presence felt here at Ken White Field on multiple occasions. 2 home runs in the first game of this series. Strike 3. Down goes Leach. A late call from the umpire. Seemed like he was racking his brain around it. He does call the 3rd strike. So a strikeout for the first at-bat that Hunter Paulson has faced. We make our way back to the top of this Tennessee Wesleyan order. Turner now at the plate. He's 0 for 2 so far. It's been a struggle for him in this one. Bulldogs just 4 hits as a team. Again, that can be attributed to the way that Andrew Herbert pitched. Paulson looking to keep the momentum going here in the 5th inning. That pitch a bit high for ball number 1. A strike there from Paulson. So that win also huge for Reinhardt, being able to win that first game of this series, and would be big if they can win this series against Tennessee Wesleyan. Turner gets a lot of that one, and that is a home run shot from Turner. A 2-run homer, and this one is tied at 3 runs apiece. Completely flipping the script. Turner got a lot of that one, and it travels over the left field wall for the homer. Something that's big in this series, not just for Reinhardt, but also for Tennessee Wesleyan, something to monitor. The current standings for the Appalachian Athletic Conference, Tennessee Wesleyan coming in a 4-2 conference record, Reinhardt at 5-1. After that first game, Reinhardt now at 6-1, Tennessee Wesleyan at 4-3. So if the Bulldogs are going to come out of this series at least tied with the Eagles atop the conference, they're going to need to win these next 2 games. Reinhardt can clinch an early lead with another win in this series. So all of those things to monitor in this series. Another strike there from Paulson. Also, national poll implications. Tennessee Wesleyan ranked 6th in the country. Reinhardt currently 23rd. Strong showing against Tennessee Wesleyan can go a long way. Swing and miss there. Another strikeout from Paulson. So 2 men down for Tennessee Wesleyan as Martinez makes his way back to the plate. The shortstop's 1 for 2 in this game. And he pops this one up, and it's going deep in the left center, and it goes over the wall and gone. Another home run for Tennessee Wesleyan, and they pull ahead of the Eagles 4-3. Martinez now 2 for 3 in this game. His second hit way bigger than his first. A big-time solo bomb that puts the Bulldogs ahead. Eagles had plenty of momentum. They were ahead 3-1 coming into this inning. Tennessee Wesleyan completely changing the narrative here in the 5th. Hunter Paulson needs to regroup and get out of this inning. And that's just a talented lineup that Tennessee Wesleyan has. Plenty of guys who can make their presence felt. And right there we see 2 big-time home runs for the Bulldogs. Trying to even things up in this series. This one a grounder. Bernie, what a play to get that one. And makes a nice throw to Kroll at first. That retires the side, but not before the Bulldogs take the lead. It's now 4-3, Tennessee Wesleyan. So now set to resume play here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The game has been completely flipped on its head. Tennessee Wesleyan ahead 4 runs to 3 against the Reinhardt Eagles. Something to monitor as well. Every time Tennessee Wesleyan has made a huge rally, Reinhardt has had an answer for them each and every time so far today. In the first game as well as this one. So it will be interesting to see if they can answer back yet again. The count's 3-1. And that one strikes Jacob Prophet there. He was thinking bunt. Instead, it strikes him in the arm. Hopefully, he's able to walk that one off.
Now batting number 8, the right fielder, Dylan
So Prophet gets struck. Seems to be okay, so he'll make his way to first base as Dylan Lewis now comes up to the plate. Lewis 0 for 2 so far in this ball game. That pitch is high for ball 1. Davila remaining on the mound for Tennessee Wesleyan. Big show of confidence there from Coach Barry. And this one is fouled into the net by Lewis.
Let's go, Twin!
And again, Tennessee Wesleyan. Big attempt there. And something that the Bulldogs have to be mindful of, having Jacob Prophet at first. Again, a guy who's always a threat to steal. This one popped up and foul.
Plus the guy before him, he was 6'4", 250 or something.
He was like 255, and then I looked at the roster. Oh, there, 290.
And then he came in.
And then he came in right after.
Oh, okay.
Remember that Richard that was from the military? He's what we're talking to.
That was the one he was.
Yeah, when we went to New Mexico for the military.
Lewis pops this one up deep in the right field. And it will be corralled. Jacob Prophet makes his way back to first.
Now batting number 5,
Lewis flies out. He goes to 0 for 3. And now Tucker Zadunik, who's 2 for 2 on the day, comes up to the plate. Zadunik grounds this one, and it goes foul near the Tennessee Wesleyan dugout. Counts 0-1. Tennessee Wesleyan ahead 4 runs to 3. Big attempt there again, trying to hold Prophet at bay. Another pick attempt there, trying to catch Prophet off the bag.
I swear I remember last year we played in softball with all three playing, and that has not happened one time.
Count still 0-1. A strike there from Davila. Again, Reinhardt has had an answer each and every time that Tennessee Wesleyan has been able to make a rally. Do they have an answer yet again? And there goes Jacob Prophet, but this one fouled off into the net. And that one hit right near the head of Adrian Vargas. The count's 0-2.
We did. It does. It says shoot a touchdown. So I'll just look at here, and we remember she rushed it in. So I'll just put that in the write-up stats. Yeah. Yeah, she was at 4 or 5. It wasn't far. Okay. Thank you, David.
There's always a fire.
They missed the one area.
They missed the extra point.
That pitch is low and into the dirt. Now for Tennessee Wesleyan, they're hoping that Davila can keep this Eagle lineup at bay.
Get out.
Popped up by Tucker Zadunik deep in the left center. And it's over the wall and gone. Tucker Zadunik, big time 2-run shot.
I'm not playing this song. Maybe next time.
Tucker Zadunik puts the Eagles ahead 5-4. And yet again, the Reinhardt Eagles answer back.
Hey, I called it.
Reinhardt with yet another answer. And it would appear that that will be the end of the day for Davila.
Paul, I just
Tucker Zadunik.
I have to go to UGA Tuesday for that weird third academy thing I've been doing. So my kids are visits Tuesday, so I'll be baseball. But I still think you can. I'm just letting you know I won't win.
Zadunik, his 6th home run of the year.
Oh. Might have punched his ass.
So I was just thinking about that, like, shoot, I won't party, but I.
So a new pitcher on the mound for Tennessee Wesleyan.
Oh, that's funny.
So we'll see if Clark can stem the tide and keep the rest of this Eagle lineup at bay. Just one man gone for the Eagles, so still a nice chance to add to their newfound advantage.
No, I think that was a fastball.
This kid has 74 pitches.
Carson Clark, 6'2" freshman from Athens, Tennessee, a hometown guy for Tennessee Wesleyan.
What is that arm slide?
This one hit near the Reinhardt dugout and foul. Adrian Vargas at the plate. He's 0 for 2 so far in this game. This one a grounder, and it cannot be corralled by the second baseman. Vargas makes his way to first. Now Nash Kroll, who's 1 for 2 on the day, comes up to the plate. Another man on base for Reinhardt, so another chance to add more to their advantage. You've already seen Kroll hit a home run earlier today. Came in the first game of this series.
Yeah, she did.
We know he is very capable of making something happen. This one is well hit. And is it fair? No, it is not. Just on the wrong side of the left field line. Under the lights here in Ken White Field in Waleska, Georgia. 23rd ranked Eagles ahead of the 6th ranked Bulldogs, 5-4.
Pretty good. Yeah, that movie's really good. You sound just like him.
Thank you. I know that was sarcasm, but I'm in.
That pitch off the plate for ball number 2. Inside for another ball. So the count's 3-1. Doesn't matter.
There's no way.
Well hit ball by Kroll, way over the wall and gone. A home run for Nash Kroll. He does it again, folks. His second home run in this series. A big time shot for Nash Kroll. The Eagles tack on 2 more.
That's exactly what happened last year. They scored a lunch. They scored a lunch from National.
The score is 7-4 in favor of the Reinhardt Eagles. And this setup in this game, eerily similar.
I'm about to do this up. Like from my speed.
The setup in this game, eerily similar to the last one. We had modest scoring on both sides through the first few innings in both of those games. But the 5th inning, that 5th inning is where all of the fireworks is taking place. Swing and miss there from Jared Burney. Strike 3 and out number 2.
The shortstop, Luis Mendoza.
Bruh.
In the first game of this series, the score at 1 point, 3-0 in favor of the Eagles. Tennessee Wesleyan coming up with 4 runs in the top of the 5th, but the bottom of the 5th came with Reinhardt scoring 5 runs of their own. So something that is very similar to what we're seeing in this one. The Bulldogs putting up 3 runs in the top of the 5th inning before Reinhardt responded with 4 of their own. So Mendoza flies out to center, and that concludes the inning. Plenty of fireworks in the 5th as we transition to the 6th. Reinhardt ahead, 7-4. So the man on the mound for the Eagles, Brett Allen. Allen appeared in the first game of this series. So this is his second appearance today. Swing and miss there, and strike two. Cale Webster, the first baseman, at the plate, 0 for 2 so far today. This one well hit, goes into the gap in between center and right. Webster is safe at first. Webster gets on base.
Now batting number 21.
Stewart, the backstop, represents the go-ahead run at the plate. And that pitch inside, a little bit wild from Allen. Webster easily makes his way to second. So now a runner in scoring position for Tennessee Wesleyan. Eagles ahead by 3 runs. Again, we know the Bulldogs very capable of putting up runs in bunches. A strike there. We've seen it throughout this year. We've seen it over the course of the last few years, and we've seen it today in both games. We've seen them be able to put up runs and make rallies literally at the drop of a hat. So this gap shot leaks into center field, and a run will score for Tennessee Wesleyan. So Tennessee Wesleyan draws a little bit closer. 7-5. The game still in favor of the hometown Eagles, but the Bulldogs now just down by 2 runs. No outs on the board for Tennessee Wesleyan. They will have an opportunity to eat away at this lead that Reinhardt has built. This one is popped up and fouled over the net. This is where things can get incredibly dangerous for the Eagles. You do not want to give the Bulldogs a chance to inch their way back into the ball game, as we've seen them do time and time again.
It's usually one will catch 2 games and one will catch the other. Unless that's really good, and then they'll go.
Newman's 0 for 1 so far in this ball game, looking to get on the board here in a big spot. Another strike from Allen. Count now stands at 2-2. This one a grounder, double play chance for the Eagles, and they would not be able to get the lead runner out at second. So Jacob Prophet couldn't keep his feet.
Now batting number 34.
Ends up slipping. Now 2 men on for Tennessee Wesleyan. Bulldogs, 2 men on, 1 runner in scoring position. Shaw back at the plate. That pitch a floater, a bit high for ball number 1. The DH is 1 for 2 so far in this game. Still no outs. So the Bulldogs in prime position to make things very interesting down the stretch. It's the second part of a doubleheader, so just a 7-inning ball game. That pitch a bit outside for ball 2. Swing and miss there from Shaw, and strike 2. Now Reinhardt has had an answer for everything Tennessee Wesleyan has done so far in this series. Can the Bulldogs return the favor here in the 6th? Strike 3. Strikeout for Brett Allen. Big strikeout there.
Now batting number 3, the second baseman, Dante.
So now Dante Leach comes back to the plate for Tennessee Wesleyan. And we've seen Dante Leach make his presence felt here at Ken White Field. Had 2 home runs in the first game. So a mound visit with Brett Allen after securing that strikeout. Coach Burton and the rest of the infield will come out to consult with him. So after the mound visit, set to resume play. 1 man down after that strikeout from Allen. This a grounder by Bernie, steps on the bag and was thinking double play. Instead, it will not happen. However, the lead runner is out. So now men on first and second. And back to the top of the Tennessee Wesleyan order. Turner, the outfielder, back at the plate. He's 1 for 3 so far in this game. 2 men on for the Bulldogs. Will the runners be left stranded? This one popped up, way up by Turner. Deep in the center field, and it will be corralled. So the Eagles will change sides, still ahead 7-5. Set to resume play here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Lance Dockery at the plate. Swings and misses there on the first pitch for strike 1. Sargent, the pitcher, on the mound for Tennessee Wesleyan. And this one, a floater, goes high for ball number 1.
PA application that we're gonna post next week, so if you wanna do it, let's see. I just thought about that because I know you said you might do it.
And that one a bit outside for a ball. Count is 2-1.
Yeah, it was just funny because I met with him right after the job. Yeah, we should call him
Swing and a miss again by Dockery for strike 2. So Sargent entering into a huge moment here. The Bulldogs desperately need to keep this Eagle lineup at bay. The deficit is already set at 2 runs. Anything more would be an uphill climb. Swing and miss by Dockery for strike 3. And that's out number 1 here in the bottom of the 6th.
Number 24, Parker Doyle.
So now we'll get a chance to see Parker Doyle for the first time in this series.
Yeah, and then I'll send it to you. And then probably March 31st.
Did you have to like interview or do anything, or was it just kind of
Just with Angel.
yeah?
Not really. You should watch something otherwise, like, because it really wasn't, that's the thing, like, they had
Doyle currently batting .235 to start this season.
they were like, we really want,
He's the true definition of a utility player, a guy who can fill in a lot of different roles, play multiple positions along the infield. Swing and a miss there from Doyle in strike 2. Count knotted up at 2 apiece. Doyle hits this one, a grounder, and the throw is made at first.
Now batting. Number
So 2 up, 2 down thus far in the inning.
Rocket.
Jacob Profit coming up to the plate. Profit 0 for 1 so far in this game.
Oh, nice. Me and my mom had went this week got Japanese.
oh, really?
We went to Connie House.
Yeah, I was with Angel.
And that pitch a strike.
Yeah, she loves Japanese, and I knew that place was delicious. I love like Zach's.
Counts now 0-1. Sargent with the pitch. This one a ball. Bulldogs down to their last 3 outs. They need to keep this Eagle lineup at bay. Of course, Reinhardt wouldn't mind scoring another insurance run or 2. Profit pops this one up, and it will be corralled by the second baseman. That concludes the 6th. The Bulldogs, just 3 outs left. If they're going to be able to win this ball game, they have work to do. Down 7-5. So here in the top of the 7th inning, under the lights here in Ken White Field in Waleska, Georgia, Brett Allen remains on the mound. Here he is in a big moment. The 23rd ranked Eagles trying to go up on the 6th ranked Bulldogs 2-0 in this series. And this one, a gap shot, finds its way into left field. A lead-off single. Hubble gets on the board, his first hit of this game. Martinez, the shortstop, now at the plate. He's 2 for 3 so far in this one. Also has a home run that came earlier in this contest. He represents the tying run. That pitch inside for ball 1. Again, Reinhardt in conference play so far. It's still extremely early, but Reinhardt 6-1, Tennessee Wesleyan 4-3. If Reinhardt is able to come away with another victory against the Bulldogs, they will take an early 3-game lead over them in the conference standings. Could be meaningful down the line, may not be, but with the talent that these two teams possess, you have to figure that this series will factor in as it goes on. So a swing and miss there from Martinez for strike 2. And then the Bulldogs trying to right the wrongs of their last trip in Waleska. Another swing and miss for strike 3. Big time K there from Brett Allen. Stevens, the outfielder, coming up to the plate. But Tennessee Wesleyan trying to right the wrongs of their last trip in Waleska, where they lost a series against the Eagles 1-2. Very similar, losing the first 2 before winning the last one. This one, a grounder, leaks into left field, a gap shot. Stevens gets his first hit of the game. So Hubble and Stevens both entering the inning 0 for 3, and they both get their first hit of the contest. The go-ahead run now at the plate in the form of Cale Webster, the first baseman. Webster's 1 for 3 so far. 2 guys coming up clutch, getting their first hits in the final inning of the game. The Bulldogs, 2 more outs, a grounder. Can Kroll corral it? No, he cannot. Makes the throw, and Allen able to track it, get to the bag, and secure out number 2. However, 2 runners are in scoring position for the Bulldogs, a man on second and a man on third. Stewart, the backstop, coming up to the plate. Stewart has been perfect in this game, 3 for 3. Will he stay hot at the plate? Clips this one foul into the net. Count currently stands at 0-1. A base hit here can bring home at least 1 for Tennessee Wesleyan and potentially even more. But Brett Allen doing his best to keep that from being a reality. 0 for 2.
Let's go, Donnie!
And Stewart's asking for a minute. He's going to take some practice hacks. Count 0-2. Again, Stewart has been perfect in this game. Clips this one foul over the net.
That was right where please never again. That's where you don't.
There are not many spots much bigger than the one that Stewart finds himself in right now. 3 for 3. He's been perfect. Can Brett Allen complete this game and give the Eagles a huge series victory over the 6th-ranked team in the country. That pitch off the plate for ball 1, much to the dismay of the crowd. The crowd desperately wanted that strike 3 call. They'll have to wait at least one more pitch to feel it. Stewart has been perfect. Can he remain perfect? And that pitch is called a ball as well. The Reinhardt faithful waiting with bated breath. They really want to see this 3rd strike. Counts now 2-2. The pitch. Inside for ball 3. 3 consecutive balls thrown by Brett Allen. Great plate discipline by Stewart. He works his way into a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Stewart has been perfect. Can he remain perfect? The pitch from Allen off the plate for ball number 4. In the danger zone here for the Eagles. The bases are now loaded.
Now batting number 19, the right fielder, Newman.
I was curious.
So that was a big spot there. Now an even bigger spot here. Bases loaded for Tennessee Wesleyan. Newman at the plate. He's 0 for 2. Can he join 2 of his teammates who collected their first hits of the game in this penultimate 7th inning? Allen with the pitch. Swing and miss by Newman. Strike 2. So the count now stands at 0-2. Eagles, yet again, just 1 strike away from collecting a series victory against the 6th-ranked team in the country. Allen with the pitch. Just off the plate for ball number 1.
He's not giving it to him.
It's not a strike.
So Allen was in this situation in the last at-bat. Can he finish the job here?
Making him earn it. Yep. Oh.
This one popped up over the net and foul. And the plate discipline of the batters for Tennessee Wesleyan has been superb. They're really making Allen earn this victory. Count stands at 1-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. That concludes the game. Reinhardt wins both games of the doubleheader against Tennessee Wesleyan. A 7-5 victory in Game 2. Brett Allen securing the final strike. Thank you guys for joining us for Reinhardt Baseball, and please be sure to tune in tomorrow at 2 for the 3rd and final game of the series.